Hello, everybody. I'm Mike Patrick. I'm the managing editor of the Coeur d'Alene Press. And with me today on CDA Press Sports Chat is my colleague, my buddy. What other names can I come up with today? My old running mate, Steve Cameron.
There you go. There you
And
go. I like that one.
Steve, first, before we even dive into this, we would like to thank our sponsors, Midway Automotive Group in Post Falls, and my good friend Jim Hightower and Missy from Domino's Pizza for making this possible.
Is there pizza coming in here any second?
About the time we put clean shirts on, Steve, the pizza will arrive. And folks, this is just an inside joke. These videos are appearing daily. If it looks like Steve and I are wearing the same clothes day after day, it's just because we're so dedicated to this. We're working around the clock.
We're sleeping in Mike's office.
That's right. That's right. Okay, Steve, we've given our friends a breakdown on South Carolina, their head coach, Frank Martin. We haven't really talked all that much about Gonzaga. You have covered Division I college basketball, literally from West Virginia to Fresno State, and a lot of stops in between. What's been your perception of Gonzaga basketball just evolving over the years?
Well, Mike, I go with what Jonathan Williams, the Zags power forward, has said, which is making the Final Four doesn't discredit or establish a program. That they're just happy to keep carrying the torch for a great program that's already been good, and it has. Gonzaga's been a team that could have been in a Final Four before this. They've been good enough. You're an Arizona alum and fan of a great program there, and Gonzaga and Arizona play each other all the time, and which is great that Arizona plays them, because a lot of schools duck Gonzaga. They just don't want anything to do with it. Now, though, I think the Zags have the national recognition that teams are not afraid to play them, at least on a neutral court. There's not a stampede to come to Spokane, but you know, the truth is this is not this is not some Cinderella miracle story that they're in
Not
the Final
anymore.
Four. No. And if you look at this Gonzaga team, they're just talented all the way, the starting five down the.
And they've got guys on the bench who would be starting for a lot of.
Zach Collins, the freshman center, 7-foot freshman center from Las Vegas, would be starting for most programs in the country, and he sits behind President Karnowski because Karnowski's more experienced. He's got a bigger body. He's a great passer in the middle. And meanwhile, you've got Collins learning from Karnowski and spelling him, giving him some rest, taking up some fouls. And Collins is a talent on his own. There's a third center, Killian Tilly, who's from France, another 7-footer. And the funny thing is, all three of them are really good shooters. They're not clumsy 7-footers that clank balls off the rim. Karnowski has trouble with the free throws, and that's something that Gonzaga is going to have to fix if they're going to advance any further in the Final Four. But the bottom line is that Gonzaga is now recruiting not quite with the Kentuckys and the Dukes and the Carolinas and Kansases of the world, but on the other hand, nobody else is either. I should add Arizona in that. I'm sorry, I missed Arizona.
UCLA. Talk to you about that afterwards.
UCLA, maybe Louisville, but there's just a little handful of schools that dominate these top guys. Of the next group, Gonzaga would be. I think they're at the top of it. All of a sudden, they're not having to. They still want character kids. No. They've wanted them all along. Now they're getting character kids that really are 4 and 4.5 star, maybe 5-star players, and the program's just going to get better. I can't see it going backwards in any way, shape, or form.
And why would a kid, a basketball talent with a lot of choices, why would he want to end up in Spokane, Washington?
Well, for the same reason that you go to Arizona, Kentucky, or Kansas, they love to win. Mike, they want to win. You were an athlete. You played sports. I mean, there's a huge difference in your gut when you win and you lose.
That's right.
And that's why, we talked about South Carolina. That's why it's so amazing to take a program that was losing and get kids to come there and turn it around. That's the hardest thing there is to do. Gonzaga doesn't have to do that anymore. They're there, wherever there is. They're in the Final Four, and now kids are looking at Gonzaga and saying, I don't think kids really care that much about where the campus is.
Yeah.
I really don't.
They want to win.
Yep.
Great. Well, that will do it for this edition. I'm Mike Patrick for Steve Cameron. We'll be back tomorrow. Don't be shocked if we're not wearing the same shirts. But Steve, I'm going to get you tomorrow to predict a winner in the
All right.
South Carolina game.
All right. Go Zags.
Go Zags.